Good morning, you early birds. Welcome to Tea Time with Tanya. Today is Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's start the day off with a blessing, shall we? Dear universe, dear creator, dear spirit guides, please give us, the collective, a blessing for this Wednesday morning. A blessing just for us. Look at this, guys. Look at this card. We get a blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming, and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storms subside, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for good reason, and all involved will benefit. Let me read that again. A blessing through emotional upheaval. An emotional storm is forming, and things may seem chaotic for a while. But as the storms subside, a blessing is revealed. Respect all points of view, for we each view the world a little differently. Things are being shaken up for good reason, and all involved will benefit. Namaste. 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 Good morning, y'all. Okay, I asked and I received. I have 4 pages, 4 full pages of questions. Thank you guys very much. So let me get started and see how far in we get. All right, my first question today is from Beautiful Girl. Beautiful Girl would like to know, will the George Floyd justice in policing pass Congress, or will it be chopped to bits, or will it just be completely ignored? Dear universe, dear creator, dear spirit guides, universe, speak through me. Tarot, please answer these questions this day with clarity, brevity, and honesty. Will the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act be passed? Will the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act be passed? Yes. Second card, guys. Oh my goodness, we've got a lot of yeses on this. And this is one that I didn't see this being a yes. Okay? We've got the King of Cups. I can only assume that this is President Biden, or this is somebody with power to get this through. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is President Biden. What we have in front, we have the Knight of Cups. This is a rival approach. This is a gift that is coming. This is in front of us. Behind us, what we will be leaving behind. Where we're at now. This system of hiding and things not being as they seem. Lies. Power given to people who don't deserve it. Here's our first yes right here. We are going to get through this. This is going to become a law. Okay. In the near future, we have the Four of Swords. We're going to watch some things from the old system start to be pulled apart. And we have to say it that way, guys. They are going to be pulled apart. Nothing is going to change without a fight. And this is the first thing that we all have to understand. All of these things that are going on. Guys, I'm going to keep saying this. 2023 is a year of serious change. We are going to literally be pulled apart and forced to put ourselves back together. We are going to see the ugliness of politics and politicians. We are going to see the nastiness of what happens when a group of people want total control over another group of people. Everyone must be prepared for what 2023 is going to bring. And by prepared, what I mean by that is, I don't mean worried, okay? If you are worried, then this is going to affect you badly. The first thing that you must do is extract yourself from being able to be manipulated and controlled by the news. If what they are saying on the 6 o'clock news or on MSNBC or Fox or whatever you're watching has got you sitting in your chair trembling, then you've already lost. If you are allowing the mainstream media to inject into you their narrative, their fear-based narrative, then nothing I can say can help you. This is the time where we have to. This is imperative, guys. You have got to understand what is real and what is not. Understand that the Republicans, when they get up, when they are in front of the camera, they are lying to you. They are manipulating you, and they are trying to get you to respond physically. Again, energy, the energy that we give through fear, that's food for them. And please understand that that travels through the air. Your fear feeds every one of those Republican monsters. It is their rocket fuel. The way to stop feeding them is to stop fearing them. Okay? You have listened. They have only had the Senate, the House, for what? We're about 6 weeks now? Since the beginning of the year? Not even 6 weeks. And they have shot themselves in the face more times than not. But people are all upset. This is a party that can't even get itself together. Okay? Do not allow these low vibrational morons, and I'm going to call them morons, because Marjorie Taco Grease and Matt Grimey, these people are ridiculously retarded. Okay? And I mean that word as the word is meant to be said. That means broken, going backwards, don't work right. Okay? Something that does not work right. That's what that word means. And that's what I'm calling them. I'm not saying, I'm not making a slur. Okay? We have to be aware of what we do. Here's the second yes. This bill is going to pass, even though the GOP doesn't want us to move in the direction of people having protected rights. This is something that Joe Biden is going to do for us. All right. The second question, will Biden be forced to veto cuts to Medicare and Social Security? I told y'all, I have been preaching this and preaching this and preaching this. The GOP's main goal in all of this is to take away Social Security and Medicare for no other reason than to harm American citizens. We pay into Medicare and Social Security. Every doggone paycheck you get. It's called an entitlement because we are entitled to it. It is our money that the GOP has been stealing, has been siphoning off. Our Social Security and Medicare do not affect the United States GDP. It is not even factored into our budget because it is a tax on us. It is a tax that we pay into the system so that we have a retirement account. That is our personal savings account. Okay? The GOP does not have any right to touch it. They have been stealing from it, siphoning it off for decades, since old Ronald Reagan was in office, gave them the good old go-ahead to stick their dirty little fingers in it, and they have tried to bankrupt it. They have been stealing from it, and they have not repaid one penny. If you want to know what needs to be done, we need to hold the GOP accountable and hit them right in the pocketbook. Hit the doggone grand old party right in the pocketbook and siphon off every bit of money from the GOP that they have stolen from the United States citizens. And we need to put these fools out of business, because they are not going to stop until they get a Republican in office and have the House and the Senate, and they will decimate Social Security. Believe this. All of you people who were born in the 50s and 60s, this is for you. They are coming after your retirement. They are coming after my retirement. All of us people who are about to turn 65, 67, we are the targeted group. They do not want to pay us. And for you young people, they don't want to pay y'all at all. Okay? They want to put your Social Security on the stock market. You may as well take it to Vegas, bring it right here and stick it in a doggone slot machine, because that's exactly what the stock market is. They want to play fast and loose with your life savings, with that money that is put there to make sure that you in your old age would have some type of income. And the GOP wants it. They want to destroy it. And the only reason they want to destroy it is because they have stolen from it. And there's going to be a time where they're going to have to pay it back. And gosh almighty, they don't want to do that. So will Biden be forced to veto cuts to Medicare? And yes, because Biden knows he would not stand a snowball's chance in hell if he let any cuts to Medicare or Medicaid go through. Yes, beautiful girl. Biden, if it ever makes it that far, which I doubt, Biden will veto any cuts to Social Security and Medicare and Social Security. Do not worry about that. Do not make that something a contention. Guys, and if you're worried about this, stop worrying. If you've gotten your check, there's no reason to worry. Don't worry about words, because if you're putting fear in your heart that they're going to take your Medicare, that they're going to take your Social Security, you're feeding the beast. That check is going to come. That check is going to be in your bank account every month. Do not put your fear into an invisible boogeyman. Do not put fear into stupid people's talking points to try to get you upset, because that is what it is. Okay? Understand. We will not allow that. So don't worry about that. Okay, my next question is from Carmen Bees. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Oh, lying. Even when, she perfected the lie. I guess now, I did not watch Biden's State of the Union. I don't watch TV and don't watch news. So I was not watching the State of the Union. So I have no idea what happened. So everything I talk on this is cold as ice. And if I'm wrong, y'all tell me I was wrong. Please do. Okay. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, after the State of the Union speech, I guess she got up there and just started talking so bad she started lying on Biden. Carmen would like to know, why did she do this? Carmen, that's easy. The rebuttal, the GOP's rebuttal, the fact that we even have a rebuttal to a speech speaks volumes about us. The fact that they put Sarah Sanders as the person to give the rebuttal is even more hilarious. She lied the entire time 45 was the president. She stood up there, bald-faced lying. Why would anybody expect anything different? Look at these people as who they are. Their words mean nothing. They are liars. They are thieves. They are criminals. These are people who want to put you in the ground. Okay? Do not put your energy into nothing these people say. They aren't talking to you. They are talking to their base. They are talking to the Fox News viewers who will believe the vitriol. They are talking to the low information maggot that is going to put that beat up flag in the back of their pickup truck and mount their doggone AR-15 on the gun rack behind the headrest. This is a call to arms, is what 45, Sanders, and all the rest of them are doing. They are losing. And what do people who are losing do? They grab for straws. They will do anything to try to save themselves. And that's what you are watching the Republican Party do. They are in power, but they're losing. Every day they are losing. Every doggone day they are losing. So do not put your energy into anything that Sarah Huckabee Sanders says. Again, that message was not for you. That was for their low information viewers who got caught watching the State of the Union, because they got to make sure that their programming gets put back. Call everything a lie. Call everything a lie. Because that's all they can do. Don't put your energy there. My next question is from Carmen. Will this power outage in Texas be the straw to break the camel's back? Will this be what gets Greg Abbott removed from office? Right now, 2 weeks out after this ice storm, 7,708 people, and that's probably a low number, in Texas are still without power. 7,708 people cannot make a hot meal. 7,708 children have not had a hot bath. 7,708 people have not slept in a warm house in the last 2 weeks. And the state of Texas is doing absolutely nothing about it. Will this power outage in Texas be the straw to break the camel's back and get Greg Abbott removed from office? Montero, give me a concrete yes or no. I did not get a concrete yes. But guys, there's going to be some lawsuits. And if you're in Texas and you have suffered through this, please file a lawsuit against the man. File a lawsuit against the state of Texas. File a lawsuit against your electrical company for failure to provide what they promised you, what they charge you for. No, Carmen, unfortunately, this will not be what removes Greg Abbott. No, I guess the people in Texas just gonna let him kill them all. But there is some justice and judgment coming. Okay, we've got justice and judgment. Sue him. If you can't get him out, make him poor. Sue him. Sue him personally. Okay? And then sue every single one of their privatized energy companies, because that's why they're having these problems, guys. Understand. Texas is without power because Texas's power grid is privatized. And nobody's responsible for nothing. Just like California privatize their gas. PG&E is a private company. And people in California suffer every time the wind blows too hard because they don't have a sustainable energy grid. Because that's what privatization does. And they want to take your Social Security check and privatize that. Understand what would happen. Yeah, if you allow them to privatize it, then every month you're going to be hoping that you get a check. And you'll be hoping that you get a check that's big enough to pay your bills. Because if they privatize Social Security, guess what? That means your pay scale is now sliding. Nothing is fixed. You get what dividends were made. And if there was a loss on the stock market, you don't get a check at all. How are you supposed to live the month? How are you supposed to survive the month? All right? Again, don't let this stuff worry you. This is what they want to scare you with. We are the ones that would allow this to happen or not. Okay? Don't put your fear where it's not warranted. It's not going to pass. Okay? It's not. This is what they are trying to scare you with. All right. My next question is from Denny. The Republicans want to take "we the people" out of the Constitution. Why would the Republicans want to take "we the people" out of the Constitution? I'll tell you why. Because they want the United States to be a corporation. Okay, no individual entity. A corporation, a conglomeration. And we would be collateral damage. We would be forced to just exist under the rules of the corporation. No individual rights. We the people makes us singular. That gives us, each individual person, rights. The GOP wants to take that verbiage out because they want to change America into, and they want the verbiage to change, that the United States is not about the people. It is about the corporation. Okay, Denny? Understand that. And that happened a long time ago. Edwina Stevens has a question. She wants to know why she is seeing small bands of military vehicles in her seaside New England neighborhood. Preparation. Nothing happens in a bubble, guys. Edwina was also discussing that old Russian submarine that's been just cruising up and down the New England coast, the East Coast. It's preparation, guys. What you are seeing, this week, the United States shot down Chinese balloons that had crisscrossed from the East Coast, from the West Coast completely to the East Coast. Our U.S. military shot that balloon down. That was an invasion of airspace. I keep telling you guys, somebody's waiting for Congress to declare war. We are already at war. We just have not mobilized. Understand, and this is not to scare you. This is what's going on. The military industrialized complex has woken up and is chugging along. They are making weapons, they are making tanks, they are building planes with the intent of shipping them all around the world to use. Because war is money. War is control. Again, this is not to scare anybody, but understand who is the war. The nations that start the war, the people who start the war never fight in those wars. It is our 18-year-old boys, 18-year-old girls now. It is our children, young people, fathers and new mothers who are the victims of war, of one group wanting what another group has, because that's what war is always about taking something from someone else. The war in Ukraine is about Vlad wanting to take land. What China was trying to do to Taiwan, and they have not stopped. They're just not advertising it as much. Is about China wanting to control the resources of Taiwan. War is greed. War is about one rich such and such wanting to take something from another rich such and such, or a poor such and such. So, Edwina, you are seeing bands of military equipment because they're preparing. Period. Next question. What are the Rockefeller and the Klaus Schwab up to with the cashless society? We're coming back to this one. And this is the change. This is the chaos. Guys, the whole thing with Bitcoin and all of those cryptocurrencies, that was the test run to see how long and how far the cryptocurrency could go before it collapsed. How much fraud could be written into the codes for the cryptocurrency. How many people could lose everything in the blink of an eye by transferring all their wealth to cryptocurrency. Pay attention to this. This is what they want to do. They do want to go to a cashless society. This is the world banking system here. Okay? This works hand in hand with the military industrialized complex, the MIC and the World Bank. This is the two. These are the beasts, guys. These are the ones that want to take over the world. And you want to know who they're working hand in hand with? The Catholic Church. So you have banking, the military, and religion under one umbrella. Guys, they're coming after us, period. Remember what the doggone Catholic Church, what the Vatican is built on. It's built on the bones of people who went against the Catholic Church. Let me say that again for the people in the back. The Roman Catholic Church in Italy, the Vatican, is built upon the bones of those who went against the Catholic Church. Just so you know who these people are. Don't get it twisted. And they got your feelings and heart involved with all this religion, with all this organized religion, with all this control of your thoughts, with all this control over your emotion. Pay attention to what's going on, y'all. Pay attention. So what's up with the Rockefeller and the Klaus Schwab? 2023. They're about to try to take over the world and change the whole way that we live. And they're going to try to do it by force. By force. 2023 is going to be chaotic. Again, don't be afraid. Understand. You can only be affected if you're playing the game with them. If you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Okay? This is where we have got to stand together. It's going to be imperative. People are going to have to get involved in stuff that they never wanted to be involved in. But if you want to protect any type of free society, any type of way of life, you will be called to stand up and be counted. This year it starts. Again, this is not to scare nobody. We've been building up to this for the last 1,000 years. We're just on deck now, and our at-bat is coming up. Be ready. My next question is from Danielle. Will 45's dementia be revealed? It already is, Danielle. It already is. But yes, and this is another thing that I have to keep saying to you guys. We are right back where we were in 2016. Okay, we have the GOP saying, oh, we're never Trumpers all over again. Old Donnie Boy has already thrown his hat right back in the ring. He has come down the escalator for a third time. The GOP is saying, no, he's not our guy. No, he's not our guy. But every turn they protect him. Again, don't listen to a word they say. Watch what they do. Old Donnie is just as dangerous today as he was in 2016. And now he's scared that his butt is going to prison. The GOP and old Donnie Boy are going to do everything they can to disrupt the United States. 2023 and 2024. This is going to be a shit show of epic proportions. Because you are going to see an entire party try to sabotage the United States. Again, watch it from the nosebleed section. It will only affect you if you allow yourself to become emotionally vested in this garbage. It's not going to work. Donnie is not going to win. But if you keep giving him power through your fear, then it's going to hurt a whole lot, okay? All right? A little feathers up, twisted out there. Come on down. There we go. All right. My next question. Oh, this is from Danielle. New York is passing a bill to take homeless and crazy people off the streets by force. Danielle wants to know what's going to happen to these people. Will they be disappeared? Yes, Danielle. This is where it's dangerous. Now understand, slavery was on the ballot. It passed in Mississippi. Or, I think it was Mississippi or Louisiana. One of them southern states, it passed. Private prisons. For-profit prisons, which are everywhere in the United States. Oh, they need bodies to make money. So what New York is doing to homeless and mentally ill people, to put them in prison, to put someone in prison for being homeless. I spoke on this earlier, guys. This is something that we must be concerned about. Because this is a societal change. And this slavery is serious. And this is something that can be done on the local levels. And that's what makes it very doubly serious. To where people who are unhoused can have their children removed from them. Can be picked up and taken somewhere and told that since you can't take care of yourself, we're going to give you to these people who are going to provide you, a little shack to live in. And they're going to give you a job, too. You can go on out back and pick some of that cotton. Maybe pick some of them soybeans. Go out there and pick that cabbage. You want to see the return to slavery? It's happening through your local laws. They want to remove people, disappear people off the streets. Where are they going? Into organized slavery. The private prison is organized slavery. And you best believe all these big companies like Apple that's buying up all this farmland, they going to need some bodies to harvest all of their GMO foods. And who best to do that? They don't want to let the seasonal and migrant workers come from Mexico and South America. No. They're going to have good old American slaves to do that. Because you ain't got to be able to do much to bend over and pick up a head of lettuce. You ain't got to be sane to bend over and rip an ear of corn from a stalk. Nah, you can be crazy and still be useful. Okay? And just understand how they do it. And it's with force. Having somebody standing over you with a shotgun or a whip. That's the plans. That's their plans, guys. Again, not to scare you. Not to scare you. Just understand. Understand what these laws are. And understand why we have to be. If you want to change things, you got to get involved. We have to get involved to change this. It's not just going to change because we wish it would. We sat back and let them do all of this to us. We got to stand up and take it back if we want it. And we got to stand together. Because if we try to fight alone, they will keep dividing us until we are nothing. And that's what this is all about. All of this is about dividing us spiritually, dividing us physically, dividing us mentally, making people hate who they are. Understand what's going on. My next question is from Danielle too. Is an earthquake like what happened in Turkey imminent for the United States? Yes. Yes, Danielle. That is why I have been saying for the last 3 months to prepare for earthquakes. Take heavy stuff off of high shelves. What's happening over there will eventually make its way around to over here. Because those quakes follow the fault lines. Follow. That is energy being released. That energy is still traveling the globe now. We need to be prepared for a large 7 to 9 earthquake in North America. And yes, it will be devastating. Prepare. Again, this is natural. There's nothing we can do to stop it, but we can prepare for it. And the biggest thing, because most earthquakes will sneak up on you while you're sleeping, don't have big old heavy mirrors or big paintings over the head of your bed that can kill you if your walls start shaking. Take heavy objects off the walls, off of shelves where they can fall on your head. That's the number one thing to do. Okay? That's the number one thing to do. And if you live in a high rise, to make sure that you understand how to get outside or underneath something stable in case of an earthquake. All right? Just know what to do and be prepared. Keep a pair of shoes close to your bed. All right? Put them under your bed. A pair of hard bottom shoes or rubber sole to where if you have to walk across nails or something that you don't have to worry about nails going straight through the bottom of your foot. Why? Because if your house comes down in an earthquake, there's likely to be some exposed nails. And if you can reach down and find your shoes because they're underneath you, then you have a safer way to get out. Again, not to scare you. What happened in Turkey is real. It's not fantasy. And if you saw any of the films, you saw exactly how those people responded. That'll be exactly how we respond. Just make sure that if you have to run, that you have at least something to put on your feet. Okay? All right. I'm going to get off of that. Next one. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm going to discuss blackness and the term black. You know, where it came from and why people are rejecting it. This question is from Danielle as well. Danielle was saying that some of the children in her school are refusing to be called black. And guys, this is something that came over me recently too. I didn't have a problem being black until all of a sudden I did. And it's not being African. It is being called a color. Because, and I'm going to say this, and this is my opinion. Okay, I'm not forcing my opinion on nobody else. This is just my opinion, what's happening to me on why all of a sudden I have a problem with being called black. Okay? And I'm going to say this. We're Americans. But this is the only country in the world where Americans are broken down into categories. If you're in France and you live there and you're from there, you're French. If you live in England, you live there, you're from there, you're English. Same thing about South America. You're Chilean, you're Puerto Rican, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. You have an identity. Your group of people has an identity until you come to America. And then we have terms like, well, there's black and there's white. And then there's Americans. Okay, we have Asian Americans, Mexican Americans. Wait, I wrote this down. We have African Americans, Asian Americans, Mexican Americans, and Native Americans. And then we have regular Americans. But you're not a regular American if you have a precursor in front of it. And that's where the white and black came from. White is a color. Black is a color. There's two things. I have seen a person who is white. Okay? An albino person who is white. White hair, white skin, pink eyes. That's a white person. I have seen black people. You know, black as black, the black is black that you can get. Black skin, black hair, and black eyes. But those are the two extremes. And those people still have an ethnicity. They have an origin. They were not conceived as a color. Understand where colorism came from and how it came to be. That was a separator. That was something put in place to say this, not that. A physical manifestation of who can receive and who cannot, based on sight alone. That's why, you know, the Irish people who are saying, well, we were slaves too. Yes, but then you graduated to white. And therein is the whole difference. Yeah, you were slaves. You were treated badly, just like the Africans were. But then, when you got emancipated to whiteness. It didn't matter where you came from anymore, because the Irish, here's a little history lesson. The Irish were like the black people of Europe. They were compared to dogs, just like the Europeans did to the Africans. They did to the Irish. Called them non-human. Compared them to animals, just like they did us. Enslaved them, brought them over as indentured servants. But when you got liberated, you got to be white. And then slavery no more bothered you, no more visited you. No longer. Understand the history and understand the separateness. Because now Irish people are just white. And Irish people owned slaves. So did black people. So did Africans. But the whole thing about colorism is about taking an identity from somebody and replacing it with something else. This field behind me is black. That's black. This beautiful woman is brown. This beautiful woman is brown. So if we're going to call somebody a color, let's at least be accurate about that color. Okay? Because they use the word black as a slur. And they got us to accept being called. I mean, we can't even be American. You got to be African American or Black American. You can't just be American. None of us. They took it from us and replaced the vernacular with something else to identify you. There's no such thing as a white American. No. They're just Americans. But everybody else has a noun before American. Understand why. It is to keep us separate and to keep people looking upon each other as being different. And that's what we have to fix. Okay. My next question is from JL. Oh, this is a good question. JL would like to know, how credible is Edward Snowden? JL, the only thing about Edward Snowden that I really disagreed with is that he went to Russia. But he went to Russia because Russia was the only place that could take him. Because the United States was going to throw him in prison for telling the truth about what the United States government is doing to United States citizens. Okay? Understand why Edward Snowden ran. Okay? This is the same with, what's that little girl? I can't. And she has a perfect name and I can't think of it right now. Anyway, she's in jail for the same thing. They threw her in jail because she blew the whistle on the illegal things that the United States government is doing to its citizens. Reality Winner, that's her name. Reality Winner. And now, you want to say that that's why her name is that? Because that person ain't from this planet. They gave her a name like that so that we could remember it. Reality Winner. She is in jail. Sitting in jail because she told the truth about the United States breaking its own laws and spying on its own citizens. Now let me say this, even though this is the truth, I have to say, for entertainment purposes only. Why? Because this is the government I'm talking about. All right. So, JL, Edward Snowden is very credible. What Edward Snowden has been blowing the whistle on is the truth. And had we listened to him, and we could probably be further into tackling this now. But he's been exiled for what? Oh gosh, almost a decade now? How much? And he brought us a wealth of information on on the spying that the United States government was doing on its own citizens. Edward Snowden is credible. I feel sorry that he had to go to Russia to remain out of prison. I feel bad for that, and I feel bad that our United States government will persecute, there's the word, persecute, those who try to bring knowledge and truth to the masses. So JL, Edward Snowden is extremely credible. What he's talking about, the wiretapping of citizens, all of that is true. Every word about it is true. And understand, what he told us, what happened a decade ago, they have improved on that. Everything that you own that has a camera in it, that has a microphone in it, is listening to every word you say. Every phone call you make, the United States government has a bot listening for keywords. And if that keyword is said, then your entire conversation has been recorded. So all of you guys who are out there talking about how you was fantasizing about offing your significant other, better mind your P's and Q's while you're on the phone. Just saying. And even if you're just saying it out of jest and kidding, you're being listened to. And understand, if something happens to your spouse and you done said something over the phone, best believe that recording gonna come back up. Best believe it. Because if you done said something about killing people or overturning something or robbing something and you did it over the phone, oh, that conversation was recorded. It ain't a person listening to you. No, this is your AI chatbots. Okay, and this is why they're making them. And they are doing this on all the phones so that, and they're improving them so that you will never know when you are talking to an actual human and when you are talking to an AI chatbot. Yeah, they gonna fool you on every chance they get. Just be aware. Don't be scared. Just be aware. And don't trust these fools. Do not trust the government. And I'm going to keep saying that. Do not trust the government. We have to deal with them, but do not put your trust in them. They don't work for you. They don't work for me. They work for the people, for the entity that controls everything. All right. My next question is from Pam Bodley. Will there be a time when people with a criminal record cannot run for high office? You can't work at Burger King if you've been arrested, but you can run for president if you've murdered somebody. What sense does that make? Unfortunately, Pam, well, you know what? Because that came off the top. I'm going to ask Taro. Taro, will there come a time to where the United States government will make it illegal for a person with a criminal record to run for high office? Yes or no? We got a yes. We got a bunch of swords. So, guys, it looks like there may be some type of a lawsuit or a law passed to where they're going to write that in to where if you have a criminal history that you will be disqualified from seeking employment with the federal government. You can't get a job in the federal government if you have a criminal history, but you can run the federal government if you have a criminal history. That's messed up. But yes, Pam, looks like somebody's going to put a law in the books that say you can't do that. My next question is from Felix Sanfeliz. Felix says he wants to know, I guess something Biden said, when cops shoot people, is it in the heart only? He said Biden mentioned this in his campaign. If so, will this policy change? Felix, no, when police shoot, they are supposed to shoot center mass. Picture a shooting target that has the big circle. This is where police are supposed to shoot somebody that is a danger to them. And that's a center shot, heart, you can say heart, but center shot, center mass. This is where the likelihood of a person surviving this shot is almost zero. Okay? That's why this is where the police are supposed to shoot. That is to stop somebody from testifying. Okay? That center mass shot is to stop somebody. That is a kill shot. You're not supposed to shoot in the head. You're not supposed to shoot in the arms and legs. No, if a policeman shoots somebody, they are instructed to shoot center mass. Okay? So if the police are shooting at you, they are shooting to kill you. They are not shooting to stop you. Felix wants to know, will this policy change? Will the shooting center mass policy change? No, that policy is not going to change. Not at all. We get the tower, we get war, we get poverty, and we get obstruction. No, the police are not going to allow that to be changed. And they are going to say it is for their safety, even though they shoot people. They pull their guns in situations that never required a firearm to be pulled. When people pull firearms because somebody won't roll down their window all the way at a traffic stop. When the policeman has another policeman on the other side of the car, can see all the way in, and will put a gun in somebody's face who is not a threat to them. This is a power trip. Okay? And this is one that we all need to put our energy into to reform. Police reform is necessary. It's not a big old scary word about, oh, we're going to let the criminals get away with anything. Right now, the police are the criminals. And they're the ones that are getting away with everything. They are the ones that are riding around with guns, but can tell a cop, a judge, well, I was scared of this unarmed 4-year-old that I had to shoot 15 times. See, the police have the guns, the police have the cars, the police have the dogs, but they also have, well, I was afraid for my life, while they had a gun in somebody's face. And this is what has to change, and we have to change it. Police reform is necessary, or else they are going to kill us all. All right, Felix, there you go. Okay, guys, if you like this content, like, share, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up for this video. And if you like it here, subscribe. Come be a part of my family. All right. My next question, this is a good one, from Dolores Thomas in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. There is now a curfew for children 16 years old and under, an 8 p.m. curfew. This is the thing that's crazy. These kids can't be caught out after 8 p.m. 16 is the legal age to work. So it would have made sense for 15. You could say 15 years old and younger, not to be out after 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is an early. In the summertime, it's not even dark at 8 o'clock at night. What is the point of this? This is control. And guys, this is about black children. This is about putting black children inside. Okay? There's curfews all over Georgia. All over. And this is what they're doing. And people need to understand this, because this is how they are going to get our children to disenfranchise our children at a young age. This curfew also goes for driving. So if your kid is 16 and has a job, and God forbid they get let off late, or they had to stop and get gas, and it was, oh gosh, they got off of work at 7:30 and they live 20 minutes from home, and they had to stop and get gas. And the policeman is sitting there at the doggone pump looking at his watch, waiting for that doggone clock to hit 8 o'clock. So that he can give your child a ticket. What does this ticket do? Oh, the first thing it's going to do is cost you some money. Yeah, we're going to make you pay for being out late. Then, if you get caught again, we're going to mess with your license. Oh, and if you keep doing it, we can take your license. And you're going to grow up and be an adult who can't get a license for what you did as a 16-year-old kid because you were out at 8:15 when the curfew was 8 o'clock. Understand that this is disenfranchisement of people's civil rights to exist. You're telling parents that your child can't even be in your yard after 8 o'clock at night. Police roll by, see your kid outside. See your kids out in the yard playing touch football with some other neighborhood kids. Now everybody in the neighborhood is in trouble. Talk about slavery. Talking about controlling how people can move. 8 o'clock is early. Old curfews were like 11, so that children with jobs could actually work. And children 16 years old are legally able to work until like 9 or 10 at night. So they're cutting 2 hours off of what kids can work and making kids have to get permission from the police to have a job, to be stopped and have to show your working papers, to get stopped and have to show papers that you have permission to be out. Sounds kind of like the same slave papers slaves had to have when they was walking down the road if an overseer saw them. Boy, where's your papers? Who allowed you to be out at this time? Pay attention. This is history repeating itself. And all you people who are just letting these laws pass without a second look, time to get involved. Time to get involved. They're starting, nobody's saying, these are kids. We're not worried about that, until that's not the kids anymore. It's not just the kids they're doing it to when they're doing it to you. And they're telling you, it's 12 o'clock. Miss Grown Woman, what are you doing outside? What business do you have out here? Show me your papers. Where are you coming from? And you have to answer the police. And this is the same thing about people going across state lines, about children, little girls having to give their menstruation information to some authority. This is about control. This is about flat out slavery. About controlling your movements, about you having to be papered, about you having to have permission from some authority to move at certain hours of the day or night. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Woo. All right. Next question is from Tasha Brown. Hakeem Jeffries' future. Will Hakeem Jeffries be president someday? Let me do a quick throw on Hakeem Jeffries. All right. Hakeem Jeffries. Tell us all you can about Hakeem Jeffries. Here we go. Got first card, we got Judgment. Got the Chariot. Okay. The future for, you know what? I'm going to use a different deck of cards. Let me do this. Excuse me, guys. I got a little tickle in my throat. I'm going to use my Romney deck here. This is my Romney Gypsy deck right here on Hakeem Jeffries. I'm just going to do a fate throw on Hakeem Jeffries. Okay. Hakeem leads off with the 9 of spades. This is the rose, and that indicates who he is inside. This is rugged, rugged beauty and health. Okay, that's what defines Hakeem Jeffries. Above him in his headspace, he has the bow and arrow. And this is where he's had some troubles in his family life. In front of him, he has, I'm sorry, guys, I have to put my glasses on because the reading is so small on these. In front of Hakeem Jeffries, he has the home card. This is success in everything he does. If present condition is unpleasant, the future will be happy and prosperous. Also predicts marriage. So Hakeem Jeffries will be successful in all the things that he does. Below him, he's got the 9 of diamonds, and that's the heart. And this signifies signifies great joy. And we see Hakeem Jeffries as a jovial, benevolent, happy person. What's behind him is the 4 of spades, and that's the I. This denotes great interest taken by friends when distant, and it signifies suspicion. So, and this is one of the things where a lot of people look at Hakeem Jeffries and are suspicious about his motives. Hakeem is a different kind of guy. Let me do the second part of the draw. Hakeem is a different type of person. Hakeem is not the Democrat that is going to be the one to lay down prostrate and say, just walk all over me. Hakeem is the type of person that we want. A little hood in him, I'm going to put it that way. A person who is not afraid to bring a fight, is not afraid to start a fight. That is what Hakeem Jeffries has in him. And that is something that is necessary in our Congress, especially in the Democrats, because we have been led by so many people who are so quick to lay down and concede instead of to stand up and fight for the things that we want. Hakeem is not that guy. Hakeem is a fighter. In his near future, he has the star. And this ensures success in all enterprise when near. So, and this is near him. This is very near him. Hakeem Jeffries is going to be extremely successful. Could he be president? Most definitely he could. Let's see what he's got next. He's got the 7 of diamonds. This is the flames. The hearth indicates good fortune and neutralizes the evil of unlucky cards that are near. He is lucky. He's got the king of diamonds. This is a sign of good tidings when near, and when touching indicates unexpected good fortune. In his future, we got the swords, the rapiers. This warns against assaults which threaten and will occur sooner or later, according to the distance from the person. Hakeem Jeffries is actually in danger of being attacked, maybe even a victim of an assassination attempt. And the final outcome, he gets the 3 of spades, the number 10 card, and this is the pig. Whether near or far is an omen of phenomenal luck and a great abundance, high honors, and all ambition attained. So, there you go. Who asked that question? Tasha. Hakeem Jeffries has the potential to not only be one of the most successful, he will be Speaker of the House. He will be one of the most successful speakers that we have, but he is also, if he wishes to run for president, there is nothing to stop him from attaining that high office. But he has the rapiers, and Hakeem Jeffries needs to be aware that there's going to come a time when somebody is going to make an attempt on his life. All right, there we go. My next question is from Shay Shay. Shay Shay says, if we live on a water planet, why are we being told that there's a water shortage or a water shortage is coming? This is a serious one. And there is a water shortage, Tasha. We do live on a water planet, but we can't drink the water in the ocean. And that is 70% of our planet. Can't drink it. The water that's on land, the water that is our glaciers, the water that is in our groundwater has been polluted. And again, and I'm going to point the finger exactly who poisoned it. Monsanto poisoned the United States water, air. They poisoned the northern United States. our water is drying up. The water that we do have is not potable because we've allowed companies like Monsanto and other great big conglomerations that dump and leach chemicals into our groundwater, into our drinking water. Right here in Henderson, Nevada, last week I made a video of a truck that said NDE, which is Nevada Department of Energy, dumping chemicals into a wash. I got it on film. I put it up live on my YouTube page. A state entity dumping chemicals into the wash that directly goes to Lake Mead. This is why we have a water shortage, because we have unethical businesses that do not care. We've got children in Detroit, in Michigan, that are still drinking contaminated water. That has not been fixed. Now it's spreading. More and more communities have undrinkable, contaminated water. We have now these big businesses are saying, oh, well, we can take sewer water, add a whole bunch of chemicals to that and make it to where you can drink it. Well, you're going to be drinking your own urine or everybody else's urine and feces. That is not clean water. I don't care what you call it. It's not clean water, and that's not drinkable water. Because what we put into ourselves matters. And if we put feces and urine into our bodies to sustain us, it's going to shorten our lives. Okay? Again, not to scare nobody. This is what we have allowed big business to do. So, Shay, yeah, we live on a water planet, but we have allowed people with money to destroy our drinking water. We live on top of trash. We produce so much garbage. Where does it go? It turns into sludge. It gets leached into our groundwater. Okay? Okay, guys. I've been on here over an hour, and I still got 2 pages of questions left because you guys loaded me up today. So I got through 3 pages of questions, and I have 2 pages of questions left. I am going to save those for Friday. And if you guys have some pressing questions that you would like answered on Friday's live show, please, please, please get with me as soon as possible. Drop your questions in the comment box below, and I will read them out on Friday. Okay, guys. The weather report for the rest of this week. Oh, Wednesday, today, Thursday, and Friday, a lot of people are going to get a much needed reprieve, a break in the clouds, a kiss of sunshine, a promise of spring coming. Oh, enjoy it. If you are in one of the areas where you're having some unseasonably warm weather, get outside, get into that sunshine, enjoy it, because it will be a little short-lived. We are getting up into, like I said, the last storms. We should have everything should be clearing out round about the 15th. So next week, middle of next week, we should be kind of coming out of the horrendous cold, snowy weather, but that change is going to turn into wind, and that is going to be what plagues us for the entire spring and summer, is going to be windy events. I mean, fast moving, strong winds. So prepare for that. So this week, today through Friday, if you're having a break in the clouds, get out there and enjoy it. Enjoy that weather. But come Saturday, prepare for the winds to start coming in. There's going to be some strong winds this weekend, possibly some tornadoes. I'm sorry. Goodness gracious. Some tornadoes happening in certain parts of the country that have already been devastated with ice storms. You're going to have wind storms coming through those same areas. Again, Texas, this is going to be another thing that's going to mess with your power grid, and that's the wind. So again, guys, if you have not got a backup power generator, please get a backup battery pack of some sort to keep you warm or to keep a light on, to keep you having something that can help keep you alive, okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. Guys, I have openings for readings. Brand new month, so I've got lots of openings. If you need a reading, some clarity on what's going on in your life, psychictanya9@gmail.com. My readings are only $25, and that's an hour-long reading. You can ask as many questions as you want. So don't think this is a $25 and you only get one question. No, it's $25 and you get an hour. You may get more than that if I don't have another appointment. But this is quality reading. I only charge $25 so that people who need readings can get them. So you don't have to save up for 4 months to get a reading when you need some help. Guys, and sachets, again, if you got sachets made in October or November, it's time to switch them out. PsychicTanya9@gmail.com. Just go ahead and drop. If you've already ordered, tell me what you need and put your address in. And I'll send a confirmation through everything. PsychicTanya9@gmail.com. Okay, guys, I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Namaste, y'all.